14 years since it started, Syria's civil war has erupted again. Rebel and Islamist groups have taken significant ground in recent days. The main faction is now known as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, led by a 42-year-old leader called Abu Mohammed al-Golani. Now, he's born in Saudi Arabia, where his father worked in the oil industry. Al-Golani was brought up in Damascus. His real name is said to be Ahmed al-Sharaa. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, is the biggest fighting group in Syria, and that's opposed to President Bashar al-Assad. In recent days, his fighters have taken control of two cities, Aleppo and Hama. And HTS can be traced back to the 2012 formation of Jabhat al-Nusra, or the Nusra Front, which for 5 years was a branch of al-Qaeda. Now it's been joined by several other jihadist factions, and al-Golani is thought to command some 30,000 fighters. The base is in Idlib province in northwest Syria, the center point of most rebel groups opposed to the Assad regime. Al-Golani has a history of fighting for al-Qaeda in Iraq and in Syria. He spent 5 years in a US prison. He's designated as a terrorist in the West and by Assad and its backers in Syria. Al-Golani is believed to be responsible for carrying out suicide attacks that killed civilians and supported a sectarian vision for the country's future. He's said to be more tolerant in his dealings with civilians now and other rebel groups compared to ISIS or Islamic State. But he has critics too, even in Idlib province. Last April, there were protests against al-Golani's brutality and accusations of thousands of people being jailed, tortured, and some dying while in custody. It is too early to say that Abu Mohammed al-Golani is evolving to become a moderate, but he has tried to reassure Syrian minorities who fear the jihadists. He doesn't like the terrorist label. He says he opposes the killing of innocent people. But international analysts say his group are now well armed and more disciplined than in the past. Others say he's smarter than Assad and has refashioned himself, made new allies, and started a charm as well as a military offensive. The Assad government is still backed by Russia and Lebanon's Hezbollah fighters. But for the time being, Abu Mohammed al-Golani is arguably Syria's most influential leader and the most powerful Islamic leader in a country that has 7.5 million refugees inside Syria and 6.5 million people who are refugees elsewhere.